should people think of AI governance for Gen AI differently from governance for ML type AI and analytics generally?
And I would say start with thinking that they aren't different. There's more in common than there are differences, and the fundamentals that you need for Gen AI related governance are what you've needed for machine learning and quote unquote traditional AI governance for a long time. If you can't go in and track back from the output of a model, the version of the model, the version of the code, the libraries that were used, and above all, the versions of the data set that you're using, if you can't map out that lineage, it really doesn't matter a whole lot about what else we do. Because if you can't map that out, you can't audit it, you can't go in and continuously improve it, you can't control it. So I would say a lot of those fundamentals are the same between generative AI and machine learning and advanced analytics. At the end of the day, generative AI is leveraging a transformer encoder decoder network. It is a model and should be treated as such. However, you do need to go beyond what we do for regular ML governance. There are just so many additional complexities in this. There's so many new ways in which it can fail. Our traditional validation processes, our metrics often don't hold. And there's a lot of best practices that we're all still working on there. But get your house in order with the fundamentals, because those aren't changing. And if you don't get those fundamentals in place, you're never really going to be able to go and justify to an auditor or others that you have made a good faith effort to go in and govern your models, irrespective of everything else that you do.
And let me see, you were talking, again, this is a question from me. You were talking about a life cycle approach. How does your thinking on that compare with the ISO 42001 AI management life cycle?
I would say they all. You should use as many of these frameworks as you can, because they're all approaching from very different points of view. I would say the ISO standard is much more like the NIST standard. It is, what do we want to see be done, to having been done, versus on the approach of, if you are a practitioner, what should you be doing? So I think there's a bit of a division in terms of who these frameworks are for. Mine is, I can't escape my background, very much from the perspective of a data science practitioner, a data science team, an analytics and an analytics leader. What should those teams be building out? But at the same time, you need somebody from the IT compliance and other side of the house going in and making sure, okay, well, that's great that you're doing those. Does it actually map to everything that we wanted to have been done? So I would say use both of these. There's more need, though, I think, at the level of the practitioners, and more need for guidance there, because right now it is a remarkably empty field, and I see a lot of people going back to CRISP-DM, which is, it was a great starting framework, but it's very, very out of date, and it really doesn't focus much on the governance side of things. So that's where we need, I think, the most effort. We have a bit more of a sense of what, at the end of the day, we would like as the outcome on the other side, and there's a lot more places that you can get that from.
Fantastic answer. And as you say, we could go on for hours, but alas, we're out of time. So I will just once again say thank you so much for joining us today. Everyone, please be sure to check out the Domino Data Lab resource room for some more content related to the presentation we just had.